Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Tarps Off. So today I'm going to go through the December 21st NHL Games. So we're going to start off with the Coyotes and the Sharks. So in the first period, there's no scoring. Second period, the Coyotes open up the scoring. Michael Kessler scoring from Caden Keller at 4:58. At 6:20, Anthony Duclair ties it up from Fabian Zetterlund. Keller would then score for the Yotes at 8:30 from Kerfoot and Jersey. And then Kerfoot would score one of his own from Schmaltz and Jersey at 12:56. Third period, 26 seconds in, Philip Sedina scores for the Sharks from Mario Ferraro and William Eklund. Nick Schmaltz would then score at 7:45 from Kerfoot and Keller on the power play. Then Lawson Kress would score from Matthias Michelli and Nick Buced at 12:50. The Yotes took that one 5-2. Senators and Avalanche. The first period, the Avalanche opened up the scoring. So McKinnon scoring from Duran and McCarr on the power play at 2:43. Josh Norris would then score for the Senators from Batherson and Sousa on the power play at 15:13. Ridley Gregg would then score for Ridley Gregg would score for the Senators at 15:28 to put them up 2-1 from Kubalik and Chychrun. McKinnon would have none of that and tie it up at 18:28 from Nichushkin. Second period, Bernard Docker scores from Smemko. Hopefully that's right. Yuri Smemko. And Mark Kastelik at 1:32. Batherson would then score again from Tarasenko and Zub at 14:47. And then Rantanen was an assist on the power play at 14:47. At 19:43. Excuse me. Third period, McKinnon would complete the hat trick at 6:16 for Devon Toews and Valiant Houston on the power play. Rantanen would score again from McKinnon and McCarr on the power play at 7:10, and then McKinnon would cap off his 4-goal night from Nichushkin into the empty net at 19:37. The Avs take that one 6-4. Alright, Habs and Wild. The first period, the Wild opened up the scoring. It's Matt Boldy scoring from Kaprizov and Rossi on the power play at 13:19. At 14:54, Marco Rossi scores from Bogosian and Foligno. Second period, David Suarez scores for the Habs to get them on the board at 8:17 from Caulfield and Suzuki. Third period, 1 minute and 9 seconds in, Suzuki would score one of his own from Slafkovsky and Matheson on the power play. And Brock Faber would score for the Wild from Kaprizov and Rossi on the power play at 8:57. Slafkovsky would tie it up at 16:57 from Savard and Matheson, and then in overtime, Kaprizov wins it from Johansson and Faber at 4:55. The Wild take that 1-4-3. Right, Edmonton, New Jersey. I thought this one would go a different direction. Anyways, first period, McLeod scores from Gagne, former Canuck, at 24 seconds. 5:24, Nugent Hopkins scores from Ekholm and McDavid. 13-14, Dawson Mercer scores from Michael McLeod to put the Devils back within one. Jonas Siegenthaler would then score at 1:39 of the second period to tie it up from Nemec and McLeod. That's Michael McLeod. And then Meyer would put the Devils on top at 16:26 from Dawson Mercer. Third period, McDavid scores at 1:40 from Ekholm and Nugent Hopkins. 2:22, Draisaitl would score assisted. At 2:49, Adam Rennie would score from St. Gagne, former Canuck, and then Ryan McLeod would score unassisted at 9:04. Oilers take that 1-63. Alright, St. Louis and Florida. So in the first period, there's no scoring. Second period, at 4:50, Jordan Kyrou scores from Robert Thomas and Pavel Buchnevich. Buchnevich would score one of his own at 7:46 from Kyrou and Thomas. Listerman would then score at 13:47 for Dmitry Kulikov. Then at 16:43, Toropchenko would score from Scandella and Saad to put the Blues up 3-1. Third period, Buchnevich would score a second of the game at 16:51 from Sundqvist and Thomas into the empty net, and that finishes it off. Blues take that one 4-1. Carolina and Pittsburgh. So in the first period, Sidney Crosby scores from Ricardo Raquel and Jake Gensel at 8:51. Second period, Teravainen scores from Drury and Slavin at 14:52. Third period, no scoring. Overtime, no scoring. And then Crosby gets the shootout winner for the Pens. They take that one 2-1. Alright, Preds and Flyers. In the first period, Morgan Frost scores from Bobby Brink and Owen Tippett at 1:31. Second period, we're minute 5 seconds in. Cole Smith ties it up for the Predators from Colton Sissons short-handed. Couturier would then score unassisted on the power play at 4:45. And then Tomasino would score at 5:24 from Tommy Novak and Philip Forsberg. Third period, Tomasino would score again from Sissons at 15:59, and then Nyquist would finish off the scoring at 19:59 from Forsberg into the empty net. The Predators take that one 4-2. Alright, Maple Leafs and Sabres. This was funny for me because I don't like the Leafs. First period, Jordan Greenway scores from Connor Clifton and Zach Benson at 2:27. 7:28, Austin Matthews scores unassisted. Max Domi would then score at 12:39 from Riley and Liljegren on the power play. Owen Power would then score at 13:44 from Zach Benson and Middlestat to put the Sabres even again, and then Jeff Skinner would put them ahead at 15:51 from Alex Tuck. Second period, Dahlin scores at 4:44 from Thompson and Tuck on the power play. Kelly Yarker would then score for the Leafs at 5:42 from Nylander and Liljegren shorthanded, and that will be it for the Leafs for that night. At 8:22, Thompson scores from Tuck and Skinner. At 11:04, Poston scores unassisted shorthanded. Third period, Jack Quinn scores from Paterka and Clifton at 11:08. 12:23, Skinner scores from Tuck and Thompson. And then Poston scores one more at 15:02 from Krebs and Johnson, capping off a 9-goal night for the Buffalo Sabres over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And ruining Maple Leafs fans' nights. I know Steve Dangle was unhappy with that. Shocking performance. Moving on to Washington and Columbus. The first period at 18:24, Anthony Mantha opens up the scoring from Ovechkin and Carlson on the power play. Second period at 15:18, Cole Sillinger would score from Benstrom and Gaudreau. Mantha would put the Capitals back on top of the second of the game at 17:24 from Protas and Carlson. Third period, Chinnikov would score 12:49 from Voronkov and Goodbranson, former Canuck. And then Ovechkin would score in overtime at 4:07 from Strome and Carlson on the power play to win it for the Capitals 3-2. Alright, moving on to Calgary and Anaheim. In the first period, Nick DeSimone scores for the Flames at 2:24 from Connor Zary and Elias Lindholm. Second period at 7:49, Lindholm would score from Kadri and Serengovich on the power play. And then at 18 minutes of the third period, AJ Gray would score from Lindholm into the empty net. Flames take that one 3-0. Golden Knights and Lightning. The first period, Marchessault scores from Paul Cotter and Braden McNabb at 11:40. At 16:58, Barbashev scores from Stone and Eichel. Second period was all Tampa Bay. Beret scores at 8:25 from Hedman and Shiri. Kucherov would score at 15:55 from Stamkos and Hedman on the power play. Point would score at 16:28 from Paul and Kucherov on the power play. And then Point would score, I believe, his 300th point in the NHL, I think. At 18:50 from Paul and Kucherov. Third period, Marchessault scores at 5:31 from Carlson and Eichel on the power play. Paul Cotter would score at 9:44 from Brad McNabb and Ben Hutton to tie it up. Ben Hutton's a former Canuck. Nick Paul would then score the game winner at 18:47 from Hedman and Point. Tampa Bay takes that one 5-4. Then my semi-favorite game of the night, Vancouver versus Dallas. In the first period, Dakota Joshua opens up the scoring at 2:51 from Connor Garland and Teddy Bluger. That line remaining very hot. At 10:51, Sagan would tie it up from Duchesne and Heiskanen. Second period, Roope Hintz would give the Stars a lead at 7:51 from Robertson and Pavelski. Then Brock Besser would score his 24th of the year at 12:26 from JT Miller and Quinn Hughes to tie it up. So 2-2 going to the third period at 15:04. Connor Garland scored what I thought was a game winner, unfortunately, from Joshua and Bluger. That line still remaining really hot. Then Thomas Holly would tie it up at 16:30 from Robertson and Heiskanen shortly thereafter. Canucks get point because it goes to overtime. Duchesne get the winner at 4:50 from Harley and Wyatt Johnson. I'm not as broken up about this game as I could be. Wish we got the 2 points. But my team is now number one overall in the NHL, the League, Western Conference, and Pacific Division. The only thing we're not first in is wild card, and I'm happy about that too. So that's it for the 21st. Hit like if you liked it, subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Canucks.